Got to work on another album. And again, they're dealing at this point with the level that they're operating on. They have to deal with all this corporate bullshit because everyone starts out playing when they started out just playing cover songs. They were just, probably in like a garage or whatever, playing little clubs. It wasn't a lot of money. It wasn't a big business.
Yeah.
But now there's just so much money involved with this that they have to deal with all this business shit. They have to deal with the records. They have to deal with taxes. They have to deal with all this stupid shit.
Yep. Bring in the suits.
So Roger, being the biting social critic that he is, he gets working on this concept for an album called Animals.
Yeah. Loosely
based on the book Animal Farm by George Orwell, but not really like as far as what happens in the album, just the idea of like the humanized animals or whatever.
Yeah.
So this album is all just completely like trying to like destroy the idea of capitalism, really.
Yeah.
And he basically divides humans into 3 categories, right? So we got the pigs.
Yep.
They're the fat cats. They're all these people that... Which one is pig? That's who they are.
Yeah.
They're just the ones that are running the show behind the scenes. People don't really know who they are.
Right.
But they got the money and they're pulling the strings.
Yeah.
And they're sitting in their pig pens, eating it up, getting all that money, getting nice and fat.
They got the power.
They got the power.
First you get the money, then you get the power.
Then you get their women. Or the female pigs. All right, so you got the pigs. Then you got the dogs. Who basically are the ones that do the work of the pigs.
Yes.
Like they're the ones on the front lines. They're the fucking really aggressive ones. They're they're the stockbrokers.
Yeah.
They're the mortgage brokers. They're the ones that are just like really power hungry.
Yeah.
They want to be pigs. They want to be pigs.
Right.
But they're not there yet. They're the foot soldiers.
Not yet, yeah. So that's your manager, your guy that's coming around that's actually watching the show, wants to possibly sign you. That guy.
And then who do we have last?
The sheep.
What do they do?
They baa all around. They just baa. Looking cute and white and cottony and curly.
They just follow the crowd. They just do whatever they have to do to live a comfortable life. And they're just being controlled by the pigs and the dogs.
Being controlled. But the sheep are the hottest song on that album.
That's true.
To me, yeah.
Well, at the end, the sheep rise up. You know what I mean? Not to spoil the album, but...
That's right. They rise up, they shave that cotton off, and they make shirts. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No more lamb. No more wool shirts. Only pigskin. So...
We're out of control.
Yeah. Hey, are we the Music Maniacs or what? So they put out that album. Again... Huge success. They're just still big. They're huge. They're the biggest band in the world. More things are happening as far as like their stage setup. I mean, they're literally their album cover. They got a giant inflatable pig over a fucking main power station in Britain. It's like a huge production now.
Yeah.
They got flying pigs at their shows.
Exactly. And they actually floated that pig up in real life, which is even more hilarious.
Yeah, and it got lost. Like, they had to bring in, like, the Royal Air Force or some shit.
Where'd it go?
I think, like, it got untethered and it started, like, flying around and, like, it started, like, fucking with air traffic. I'm pretty sure that's real. I don't know if somebody just said that and thought it was real, but I'm pretty sure that's real.
This will be great bonus content. You could just tell a story about that, how the pig came back with stamps from different countries on it.
Yeah, he came back with a full passport.
Exactly. He had a sombrero on.
In a margarita in hand or paw or... What do pigs have? Hooves. Yeah.
Hooves.
Margarita and hoof.
He's like, what? Anyway, okay, we're out of control.
So they're getting bigger and bigger still. And Roger is still very disillusioned with the whole fame thing.
Yeah.
And again, they're not putting themselves out there like that. They don't really they want it to be about the music. They're not focused on themselves. They're not putting their faces on the album.
Yeah.
None of that stuff. Like Roger is still just like, he's appreciative of the people that want to see them, but he's fucking annoyed with them too.
Yes. Roger says, I see myself getting more and more bitter. That's a quote.
Yeah, and what else do bitter people do but spit on your own fans at shows? The dude literally spit on a guy at the show. I don't know what the guy was saying to him. Hey, Roger, you play bass like a fucking loser. So he straight up spits on the dude at the show. And then, like, after the show, he's like, I can't believe I just fucking did that. Like, and he's kind of, like, disgusted with himself almost.
Well.
And he kind of, because of that, he kind of starts to form the idea of a new concept album. Mm-hmm. And that leads to their next album, The Wall.
Yes. I don't know why he didn't just spit on himself and just call it a day, but he had to make a whole album.
And the whole Wall album is very much based on his life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the protagonist in the album. It's a rock opera, so it's a whole story.
Yeah.
Right? The protagonist, like, his dad dies before he ever met him in World War II, which is what happened to Roger. And then he grows up and becomes, a big famous rock guy. Mm-hmm. And the whole concept of the album is, like, all these things that are alienating him, all these things that are causing him stress, like his dad being dead, fucking, like, his mom, like, being overprotective, his fans being fucking losers or whatever. They're all just bricks in a wall that he's building up to shield himself from the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Poor Roger.
So it's so crazy, though, like, the concept of the show is, like, they're literally, while they're performing, they're slowly building an entire wall on stage and then knocking it down.
Yeah.
Like, that is, like, the absolute height of the theater, like, performance.
Yeah.
Like, they really were like, this is not just about 4 people playing instruments. This is the whole fucking production. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, you come to a Pink Floyd show, you're getting a show.
You're getting a show. You're getting a cement truck, churning that cement out.
Cement truck on stage.
Bricklayers, spackling,
That's
everything,
right.
All of it.
Yeah, and this was also a really weird time for the band because they were kind of broke, actually, at the time.
Yeah, well, surprise, surprise.
Yeah. They actually left England for a little bit. They went to France for, like, a few months to avoid taxes.
Cheap-ass France.
They took a tax holiday.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then now they're, like, recording this, and they're basically like, fuck, we don't have any money. Like, this album has to do good, or we're fucked. But there's also a lot of personal tensions in the band at this point, because now Roger, the ego is totally full at his head, and he's like, Pink Floyd is my band. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I am Pink Floyd, and Pink Floyd is me. You know what I mean? Because he's writing all the lyrics, but he's still not ever, like, the musical spark. Like, I think at this point, David was the one that was really creating the really, like, musically powerful things.
Right.
And their partnership is really what made these albums so good.
Exactly. Earth to Roger.
Right. So at this point, he's like, I am Pink Floyd. Hey, Richard, what the fuck are you doing here? You don't add anything. You don't contribute anything. Why don't you just get out?
Richard said, don't mind if I do.
He was like, all right, but I'm still going to play the shows. Roger's like, fine. So during the tour for that album, technically Richard Wright wasn't even a full member of the band. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Which is just crazy. Like, Roger's ego is just starting to completely tear the band apart.
He's like, somebody's got to go crazy in this band, and I think it's going to be me.
Yeah. It's a weird thing that happens when you get to that level of success and, like, the spotlight is on you more or less. It's like you start to get sometimes you really do start to think that you are the band. Mm-hmm. And, there's another band that I'm thinking of specifically that happens to, but we'll talk about them on a different episode. But he dumps Richard, and everybody's pretty much annoyed at him now.
Yeah, wrong move, Raj. Anyway.
And, the thing that's funny is that the album still does so well.
Yeah.
It sells millions and millions of copies. Mm-hmm. Huge tour. They make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
All this crazy shit. But the relationship within the band basically couldn't be worse. It's
just so disheartening.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is. What is the actual thing? Like, I want to sell this commercial to Pan Am. I don't want to sell this commercial to Pan Am. That's preposterous.
Wait, you think you have anything to do with our success? I don't think so. I am Pink Floyd, right?
Me! And then he laughs. And then turns into the floating pig. Holy shit.
He metamorphoses. Behind a wall, though, so you can't see it happen.
Can't see it. But he's fat. No, I'm just kidding.
So they put out another album as Pink Floyd, But this is basically, at this point, it's a Roger Waters solo album.
Yeah.
Like, they said, like, the other members, they're like, we basically weren't even involved.
Yeah. Wow.
It's called The Final Cut.
Yeah.
Still does well. The music
Does
is still
well.
great. None of this music is bad.
Yeah,
That's
no
the
one-
thing to think about.
Yeah, no one dislikes Roger Waters' music. We just don't like his bitterness.
Yeah.
He's pretty bitter.
Pretty bitter. And he's like, you know what? Pink Floyd is so my band that I don't even need them anymore. I'm just going to go off and do my own thing. But y'all can't be Pink Floyd anymore because I'm Pink Floyd.
That's right.
And David Gilmour said, you thought, bitch.
That's right.
What do you think this is, bro?
What?
He's like, you ain't playing me like that, dog.
Not at all.
So there was like a legal battle.
Of course. Because you're talking about David Gilmour. You're not talking about a hired hand. I wonder if Roger Waters was saying, I'm fucking Roger Waters, bitch. Was he saying stuff like that?
I really couldn't imagine him saying that, but I really could imagine him saying, I am Pink Floyd.
Yes, I
You know
am
what
Pink
I mean?
Floyd. What about, I'm fucking Roger Waters?
I'm Roger fucking Waters.
How about, yeah.
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 You're nothing without me.
Ha 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 ha. You know, he has to add that.
And David's like, nah, fam. So they're like, we're going to keep being Pink Floyd. 'Cause
Yeah.
This is, I was watching an interview with them. They're like, you got to think about, like, they've been, for the last 20 years, it's like, oh, who's David Gilmour? Oh, he's the guitarist from Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Oh, who's Richard White? Oh, he's the keyboardist from Pink Floyd. It's like that was such a part of their identity
Yeah.
that they're not just going to let that be because Roger doesn't want anything to do with it anymore.
Because Roger say so. Roger, why are you acting like you don't know these people? Like you just met them.
I know, it's so crazy.
They're arguing and they're all turning into the different animals while they're arguing. Roger's yelling and laughing and he's turning into a pig. And like David's like, what do you think I am? Your fucking dog? And he turns into a German shepherd. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nick and Rick just turned into sheep, I guess.
They're just like, well,
Sorry,
we're not
guys.
really in it.
They're like, this seems like your fight, but we want to be Pink Floyd still.
Exactly.
So I'm on Team David.
I'm on Team David. And you know what? So it turned out Roger did like the fame.
Yeah, but it is really funny though, because so when Roger left, he was like, I'm taking the Pink Floyd name. Y'all can't do it anymore. I'm leaving Pink Floyd. And the rest of them were just kind of like, okay, leave. We'll still do it.
Exactly.
I don't care. And apparently Roger was like,
Yeah, I'm sure he started storming off and then he was like,
what? So they just never stopped. So now it was really cool. This is like we said before, like there's so many different versions of Pink Floyd. And that's the end of the second version, basically, when
Yeah.
Roger leaves. And now it's the third version where David is the leader.
yeah,
And they're still making really beautiful music.
yeah.
The next album they do is called A Momentary Lapse of Reason. Mm-hmm. And they're still under the Pink Floyd name. And now Roger's out doing solo work.
Yes.
And this made me laugh so hard. I saw an interview with Roger, with the pig himself. Mm-hmm. And he said, I love you, Roger. Don't hate me. He was like, yeah, so, I was playing my solo albums in front of like 2,000 people in a 6,000 seat venue. And then the next night, this was in Cincinnati, I think. Mm-hmm. He's like, and then the next night, Pink Floyd, they were playing a football stadium in front of 75,000 people playing my songs.
G's up, hoes down, Roger.
And he was like, shit, maybe I fucked up. Because this is the thing, it's like, you think that you're Pink Floyd, but Pink Floyd is just bigger than just you, dude.
Yeah.
And the people know that, too.
Yeah.
Like, the people know, like, it's not just the lyrics. If it
No.
was just the lyrics, you would be a famous poet, dude.
You would.
You know what I mean?
Because I came for David's solos. I don't know about you. I came for David's solos.